Idaho Supreme Court denies Bryan Kohberger's grand jury appeal. BOISC Idaho. The Idaho Supreme Court on Tuesday denied a pretrial appeal from attorneys representing Bryan Kohberger, the man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students. The appeal stood to delay his murder trial further if granted. Kohberger's public defenders had argued that a grand jury seated by prosecutors improperly indicted him on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. They contended that Idaho law left open the idea that grand jurors must reach the higher legal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt, the same as at trial, to convict a defendant rather than the long-standing threshold of probable cause to indict. In the one-page Supreme Court ruling issued Tuesday afternoon, the justices offered no legal rationale for their denial of the motion to appeal from Kohberger's attorneys. The document was signed by Melanie Gagnon, clerk of the Idaho Supreme Court. The appellate case is now closed, state court spokesperson Nate Papineau told the Idaho Statesman. The justices took just over a month to dismiss the appeal after Kohberger's attorneys filed under seal in early February. Prosecutors opposed the appeal, also under seal, on Feb 20. Kohberger, 29, is accused of stabbing the 4 U of I students to death at an off-campus home in Moscow in November 2022. The student victims were seniors Madison Mogan and Kaylee Goncalves, both 21, and junior Azina Kernodle and freshman Ethan Chapin, both 20. Kohberger, at the time a graduate student at nearby Washington State University, faces the death penalty if convicted by a jury. Idaho Supreme Court denies Bryan Kohberger's request to dismiss grand jury. And Bryan Kohberger is accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students in 2022. The Idaho Supreme Court denied a request Tuesday from Bryan Kohberger, the man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022, who sought to have his grand jury indictment thrown out. Based on their interpretation of Idaho law, Kohberger's lawyers argued that grand jurors were inaccurately told that the standard for an indictment is that there is probable cause of the defendant's guilt, instead of the higher threshold of beyond a reasonable doubt. The court did not provide a reason in its filing for denying the request. Kohberger, a student at the nearby Washington State University, is accused of brutally murdering 4 students Madison Mogan, Zana Kernodle, Kaylee Goncalves, and Ethan Chapin in a rental house near the University of Idaho campus. The grand jury indicted Kohberger last May on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. He was arrested following a several weeks-long investigation after surveillance footage showed his car at the scene of the crime multiple times around the time of the killings in Moscow, Idaho. He's pleaded not guilty on all counts. A trial date has still not been set. Kohberger's defense team is seeking to have the trial moved to a different county.